the show. Let's see what has been happening in the wrestling world. Welcome to the show, where comedy meets wrestling by fans for fans. The Two Counts, always the best guests in Midwest. The Two Counts, great time guaranteed because we're the best of the best. Meet B-Games and JR, Top Shelf Tommy, we're about to start. Welcome to the Two Counts. It's time to dig deep into the wrestling world. Welcome to the Two Counts, where comedy meets wrestling by fans for fans. The Two Counts.
The Two Count. The Two Count. Where comedy meets wrestling. Please comment, share, like, and start a hype train for God's sakes. And now, here are the hosts of The Two Count. Comedian John Russell, wrestling broadcaster Big Ace, and everybody's favorite heel, Top Shelf Tommy.
Hello, everybody. We're minus one of those guys, though. We're minus JR today. No JR. Just team fancy ketchup all up in your business tonight.
Pinkies up, everybody, because it's a 2 Count Tuesday. Minus JR, like Ace said. Obviously, the lucky bastard found himself on a comedy show tonight. Malice, what's going on, dude? Over on fucking Twitch. Look at you stepping up your game. All right.
Wow. All right. So JR's out doing comedy, and we're here to spend Valentine's Day with all of you guys because Tom and I are also alone on Valentine's Day. I mean, we're here together.
I just assume Malice is tuning in from work because otherwise he'd be out with the wife, I think, right?
I don't know. Malice also doesn't seem like much of a Valentine's type of guy.
Oh, well, there you go. He can't access Twitch at work.
Maybe this is their Valentine's Day.
Tim Nella's checking in. Team Top Shelf.
Yeah, Mr. Nella.
Man, I love to see good old Tim Nella in the chat. Malice as well. Ran out of thoughts. You're okay, I guess. But
we love everybody. Make sure you guys all share and send out the links so people know we're on right now and that we're live. No JR. It's Valentine's Day. We figure why not talk about things including wrestling and love. So
that's right.
We're going to get into some of that. We're going to talk about some of our favorite on-screen couples. We want to know some of your guys' favorite on-screen couples when it comes to the world of wrestling, and just all other things involving Laura. What would Brother Love used to say? I love you.
I love you.
Man, that was the Bruce Pritchard being Brother Love. Who the fuck thought that was a good idea?
Oh, Bruce Pritchard. That's how it happened.
Fine as him, but I mean, like, I get it. He's supposed to be a heel, so it works because you instantly hate this dude who paints his whole face red, slicks his hair back, and talks like this. Like, Nella wants to hear our take on the Sami Zayn Cody Rhodes promo pep rally.
Yeah. That was fun. I actually was hosting trivia last night, so I literally just saw this on YouTube this afternoon when I got home. Did you watch Raw last night?
I did not. I fell asleep on the couch. I was exhausted yesterday. I think I am getting sick, by the way. Like, I think I'm slowly getting sick. I was telling Tommy this before we went out live on the show tonight. Like, I had yesterday off and I slept like all day and night, and I just have been feeling off today. So I do think I'm getting sick. I kind of like got the gist of it without really hearing it or seeing it. And basically like kind of arguing over who's going to have the belt or the match with Reigns at Mania. I know WWE is not changing plans in favor of anything due to, because I obviously Sammy being a fan favorite, very reminiscent of Daniel Bryan and the Yes Movement. So, but they claim they're not changing plans, whatever that means, because we do know it's going to be Reigns and Sammy this Saturday at Elimination Chamber. But now here's the thing. Vitamin D and zinc. Oh, thank you, HCW. I will get right on that. Yeah.
It also rained all day here, so vitamin D was hard to come by, at least naturally. So
it knew it was Valentine's Day, and it rained for Tom and I. How nice.
Even God's crying for us in our loneliness.
God's crying. Like, I don't know about everybody else, but like we've talked about this numerous times, Tommy and I, just in conversation, because we both are in that same boat. We're older gentlemen. We're single. Would like to find something. I think maybe you a little more than me at this point, because I've really hit the point where I'm just like, fuck it, whatever. But we've shared stories about because it is hard now too, like to just beat people.
It is. I think honestly, and again, the conversations we've had, and so Tim will talk about that Zayn and Rhodes promo here in a little bit, but I think one of the biggest things is I don't think a lot of people who are married and understand what this has gotten to, because I'm 39, I'll be 40 in October. So I'm in my 40th year of life, and I was really hoping this year was going to be 1-39 as far as my success record on Valentine's Day, but it's still 0 for 40 now. And I'll be real honest with you guys. Like, it's kind of disappointing. It's not always the best, but sometimes the effort just has to be there. And no matter how much you try, if the other person's not trying, and we're all kind of jaded just based off of the fact that online dating's a hellhole. All the things I read as far as like, hey man, like, you guys want to, date this person that I barely know. I was like, I don't want to fucking be set up on a blind date. It's fucking terrible. Dan, welcome to the show. We're so glad that you and Stacy met on Match at 44. That's incredible. That's fantastic. Also, too, when I read things saying younger gals are into older dudes, I'm like, yeah, but how old and for what reason? Because I don't have money, because I also graduated from college in 2007 when the economy was jack shit. So what money did I have when I left college? Zero. And what money do I have now? About next to zero.
Oh, hopefully you don't get in trouble for that one, HCW. Yeah, you're right. I mean, the money's the hard thing, but also like just, as you get older, life changes. So like for me, the party scene, the bar scene, that nightlife scene died for me years ago. Especially being someone who worked in that industry.
Yes.
Died for me years ago. That's the last thing I want to do, is try to go to a bar just to meet women. So like even before pandemic, it was online dating, and it sucked then. And then the pandemic happened, and it was like, because they want to. Danny,
why do men die before their wives? Because they want to. It's true. No, and you're right, Ace, too, as far as if you're trying to find anybody in the bar scene, it's a mixed bag there too. You either got people who are desperate to find anybody or always willing to hook up, or you're going to find a wide range of stuff. I mean, I think the last time I worked at a bar before the pandemic, I was working the door on St. Patrick's Day at a bar, and a friend of mine, her parents were in town, and they had never met me, but they heard a lot of good things. So they brought Old Top Shelf a piece of beef jerky to celebrate the holiday of St. Patty's Day, because they're from Wisconsin, and that's what we do up in the upper Midwest. So we celebrate with beer and dried meats. So I put that thing right in my back pocket. This young gal who was celebrating her 22nd birthday had those weird dimple piercings, if you will, like on the side of her cheeks there, or lips. And she took an old shine to your boy here, and then goes in for a whole handful of ass and just grabs onto that beef jerky. So it was the wrinkliest, hardest ass she's ever had her hands on. And I guarantee that she will never do that to another fucking door guy again.
That's hilarious.
True love exists, everybody.
Handful of jerky.
That's a top shelf story for y'all, baby.
But after that, like, we're clubbing in Spain. Dan, welcome back, by the way. We hope you enjoyed the Jericho cruise. We saw all the pictures. It looked amazing. I actually got my pre-sale time if we decide to pull the trigger. I don't know, you weren't here last week, Dan, but it's being heavily debated right now if some of us may join the cruise next year.
Well, Dan's a true fan. He told JR and I that he went back and watched the show. So he's encouraging all of us to get out there and do it for Five Alive is what they're going to call the next one. So Handful of Jerky is my porn title. Thank you, HCW. You are truly a blessing to the show tonight. And by blessing, I mean fucking hardship. I am irritated.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, who knows? Maybe next year you'll be 1 for 41. I don't know.
Who knows, man?
Trying to make you feel better. I don't know.
We can all hope. That's why I'm wearing red tonight, everybody. I hope this is a lucky color for myself. And I guess everybody else too. You are watching the show, so
yeah.
Hopefully it works out.
So yeah, guys. Well, first of all, why don't we jump into that Raw thing? Just because I didn't get to really see it. Timmy wants to know what you think. Let's hop into that real quick because we're going to I saw that damn first 400 cabins sold, get a pick with Jericho cards and some toys. I don't know. Like I said, me and Tommy haven't talked about it. I literally got the email today saying I can start boarding as soon as 12:30. Not boarding. That'd be hilarious. I could book as early as tomorrow at 12:30.
Oh God.
We don't have to do it tomorrow at 12:30,
but even that though, man. I mean, Jesus, man. It's a year away still. That's the crazy thing, man. It's still a year away.
This is just for the pre-sale, though.
Oh, I know that.
And like a couple weeks it goes on sale to the public. I mean, they were selling cabins to this thing till the day of the cruise this last year. It didn't sell out. So I don't anticipate it doing that again. But yeah, we're like I said, Dan, we're thinking about it. It might happen. The change to Mexico is a nice change compared to the Bahamas for the 5th time. So that also is a nice little added incentive for me to be like, I kind of want to go.
To go to that half motherland of his.
Yeah, right. Walk out there. I'm home, amigos, familia.
Okay. What Canelo? That's Ginger.
Rojo. They're gonna just totally kick me out. It'll be fun though. Yeah, so maybe that happens. We'll see. We'll see probably sooner than later though. You'll know if we reserve our spots. Yep. So what did you think of this thing? Now, I will say the one thing I saw from Raw that I absolutely was like, yep, that's awesome. Seth Rollins boots.
So, yeah, I did see Bleacher Report Wrestling covered that, and then I went and checked out Seth Rollins' page. And so I don't know if you've seen people talk about these fucking boots where they don't know if this is supposed to be like a meme thing, if this is supposed to be a real thing that this designer figured people want, but they're not even moon boots. They're like turning you into a Lego fucking figure because you can only move your knees. And as somebody who spent time in a walking boot for a couple months before and you can't use your ankle, it's fucking throwing me off, man, seeing how people would fucking walk in this shit. A picture of this, how fucking ugly these things are. But it's disturbing to watch somebody try and fucking deal with that. And I did not see, did he get in the ring with those two or no?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I was trying to find a photo to put up, but right now everything I'm finding is not a JPEG, so it will not go over for some stupid reason. Maybe this one will.
Either way. So, yeah, that was fun to see those pictures of him, but
it was very, very comical. I would love to see him actually try to like wrestle in those boots.
Not a chance, dude.
It would be hilarious.
They're bigger than fucking like most people's fucking bodies, man. Especially on that roster.
Boom! Look at those things, guys. Look at these, matching the sunglasses too. So that's dope. A fashion icon is Seth Rollins. I mean, I hate winter, but I'd wear those out in the snow.
I wouldn't wear them, period. I don't get where people get off making these things and designing these things and actually expecting people to buy them. But you know what? There's been some weird designs throughout fucking history anyways, man. So I guess more power to you for fucking making them. But
if we go on the boat in January and y'all do, we'll set some goal up. But if we meet it and we go on the boat, we'll get some of these for Tommy for the boat.
I'll tell you what.
I'll wear them too. Well, I'll wear them actually.
I'll tell you what. If there's something we do, say for, I don't know when that watch party might be going on and stuff like that, but
well, we already know. We haven't officially announced it. We could right now. We could do it without JR. Fuck that old man.
Jesus, that got aggressive.
Here's your chance to shit on him when he can't say nothing. He can't even mute you.
Yeah, but you can.
This is true. This is
you've done it more than he has.
This is true.
No, so I mean, I don't want to say it's for WrestleMania, but it is going to be for one of the nights of WrestleMania. We will be doing a watch party. At least a few of us are getting together. We will see exactly what the extent is as far as people, but
well, we have 2 confirmed guests, and the debate is if we're going to do any more. I don't think we are. I think we're going to keep it kind of intimate so we can spend more time talking to y'all in the chat while watching Mania.
Yes.
And I don't know, maybe one of the guests just happened to be in the chat room right now too.
He might be. I suppose we still haven't even touched on the roads and
we fucking 16 minutes we haven't touched it. What's up?
All right, so
and also Nella, get in there what you think, what you thought about it too.
Yeah, he's right when he said promo / pep rally or whatever. It was definitely a lot of. I mean, it is kind of the character development that we're seeing with Sami Zayn, where he does need to be kind of pumped up a little bit by other people. You know, like Owens was doing it leading into the Royal Rumble, where, okay, Sammy, dude, you're a great guy. You're always been there for people, man. Like, he needs to kind of get that acclamation from other places. He needs to get that validation from other sources. And so that's really what Cody did last night, was validate the fact that, yeah, he thinks that Sammy can win. But then Sammy's not sure if he can or not, because he's been part of the bloodline, blah, 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 back and forth. And what's up, Tina? And it's been one of those ones where Cody really pushed hard, and you did see a few yes chants from the audience. So I just think that it was a good promo for both of those guys, because they're both supposed to be the faces going into whatever prospective matches with Reigns. So, or if it is Rhodes and Zayn for Mania, I think it definitely helps out the fact that both those guys are fan favorites right now. So,
I still love my idea of a double, 2 main events with Reigns. You know what I mean?
Yes.
At Mania, I really do think that would be the play, because I think that having this long run of being a champ and just one of the most dominated runs, actually, like, why wouldn't you? I think it would be great. You have the greatest run of all exploded one weekend. Which, by the way, sent by Dan.
No, this one. Sorry, I'm on the outside.
Fancy catch-up. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, brother.
No, Tovar John did not get shot down over Lake Huron. He is not a Chinese balloon, spy balloon, or whatever the hell that is. He is doing a show somewhere. It is Valentine's Day, so somebody hired him to do a show. I'm not well liked enough to get hired for Valentine's Day. People are like, listen, you sad sack of shit. At least we know this guy had an ex-wife and some kids. So you... allegedly there's
like, this guy isn't mad for being alone like the other guy. JR just is happy that someone's calling him.
That's unfortunately too real and correct. Somebody who's not his kids called him. He's just like, yeah, absolutely. I mean, hell, right. There's been times he's had to like dip out of our like post show conversations because he ended up getting a call from like Mike Fink or somebody else, and he's also just talking. I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna leave because he's been fucking talking for like 20 minutes to somebody. He's like, damn, dude, if you needed somebody to talk to, just fucking talk to us, dude.
I've I've had to mute JR before because he's taking like a business call while we're like starting, and I'm like, okay, no, we don't need to hear what you're talking about, but it's funny. Yeah, I mean, I am excited to see how things shake down this weekend though at Elimination Chamber, because we've been saying it the last couple weeks. We're gonna keep talking about it as time goes on, and I'm sorry, like I do realize we're a little WWE heavy lately, but also we're on the road to Mania. We just got done with one big pay-per-view. We're going into a marquee matchup with the Chamber match. You know what I mean? And then, I mean, it's all signs point ahead down that road to Mania. So, I mean, this is the biggest time of the year for WWE. And as we get ready for Elimination Chamber, again, we got that match of Roman Reigns, and he's going to take on Sami Zayn.
Do we got anything else lined up yet, or no?
Oh yeah, I'm pulling it up right now.
Oh,
now
nice.
nobody. The hard thing is what. It's so unpredictable right now. That's what I'm getting at, guys. It's very unpredictable of what we may see when we get to Mania at this point.
Can I ask you something? Oh yeah, Bryce is here. Perfect. No JR. Sup, boys? Yeah, absolutely. Golden God showing up right on time. No JR. Hey, you know what? We should just fucking send Bryce the link. Get him in here. Just piss off JR.
We'll play this
for you
guys.
Right? This is the Thunderdome, and it's a fantastic venue. I've already looked around. We'll show you a little bit more later. I'm going to hit the can quick. You can come in with me if you want, to a certain point, right? But, gosh, it's like a ladies' room, men's room, and it's kind of like mirrors and stuff. And anyway, I'm going to lock. Let's try a couple here. Busy. It's a busy place, and but I gotta use that. I gotta use one of these.
Gotcha, fucker! Boom! That's right! I'll be where you'll never expect. Gotcha, baby! Fuck you,
JR! Still just classic 2-count television right there, if you will.
Just in case people forgot, you're right. I know.
Yes. Also, Bryce, you're doing okay when Malice says that you and Gable and Cole effing killed it on Saturday in that steel cage. Yeah, I hear good things about the last Impact show over there at the Countryside Wedding Event Center.
Yeah, big show this weekend with IPW. Heard some good stuff, so it is classic. Gotcha, fucker. Yeah, let's see here. What do we got? So we got Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn, and then you got because you have the Chamber match, which is going to be, let's see. So the Chamber match this year for the men is actually for the U.S. title. So trying to kind of, I don't know, are they trying to put a little bit more respect on the U.S. title? Well, and like Dan said, it's a joke. Right. I mean, is WWE trying to legitimize these titles a little bit more? Because we got Austin Theory, who's current champion. You got Seth frickin' Rollins with his moon boots in there. Johnny Gargano, Dark Horse right here. Bronson Reed. Dummy, all of them. Damian Priest, Montez Ford making it. Dawkins not. Bad call, WWE. Dawkins is where it's at. And that's for the United States Chamber match. You have the women's, right? And the women's is going to be the number one contender for the Raw women's title. And so far we have Asuka, Liv Morgan, Nikki Cross, Raquel Rodriguez, Natalia, and Carmella. And then, of course, we have Edge and Beth Phoenix taking on the Judgment Day, Finn Balor, and Rhea Ripley. That's what
I'll tell you what. With that women's chamber match, if it's not Raquel Rodriguez, I don't know the fucking point then in doing this, because I love Asuka. Yeah, Dan, I mean, she might. I think Liv is a better storyline than Asuka at this point too. But I think if you're really looking to make another star out of all this, because Asuka and Liv are already stars, and Talia's kind of on the downslope of her career. I mean, there's no getting around that. I just think Raquel Rodriguez is the place to go. She was your NXT Women's Champion. You haven't had her win anything. One quick stint with the tag championships.
Yeah,
think
Oh,
that's probably the way to go with that one.
Well, and I think she was on track to maybe get a championship match before her injury,
Right.
which kind of put it down. For Liv doesn't work though. It was not the best reign. Yeah, that's true too. I don't know. I do feel like they put it on Liv and then immediately like, why'd we do that? And it's like, well, you got to give her a fair shot. I do also think it's hard when there are a few similarities between her and Alexa. I mean, let's just throw that out there.
Yes.
But I mean, when you look at the names in there, I do like Dan's idea of Asuka winning it. Nikki Cross could always be a dark horse in all this too. Like,
yes,
the whole peeking in from behind. What's up, the freak? Welcome to the show. I mean, I think Raquel Rodriguez is a great pick too. Yep, too many similarities. Guys in the chat, let us know what you think of this women's match. Who's going to get that shot at the Raw Women's Champion, Bianca? Because the other thing too, though, is what happens. Because am I correct on? Is it Becky? Is it Becky Belair that we're going to get, I think, at Chamber now? Someone correct me if I'm wrong on that. It's not on this thing that I'm looking right now, but that might be.
I think I heard that last week that was supposed to be.
Oh, I feel like that came out last night or on Monday.
Freak. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. By the way, I really appreciate you guys being this active in the chat, man. Honestly, it really helps our show go and keep rolling along. So you guys are fantastic. Okay. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Thanks for spending it with us.
Yeah. We all know that this also proves that JR is not the draw like he fucking thinks. It's clearly Team Fancy Ketchup, and I will go ahead and concede that the redheads clearly rule the fucking show around here.
Yeah, well, I mean, wherever I go, I draw a crowd, so it's cool.
Oh, damn it, dude. You know what? And I was trying not to be all fucking top shelf about this, but you gotta fucking calm this down, okay? Because everybody here knows that everybody in this chat is living that top shelf life, baby.
We all are.
Life.
The 2 count is top shelf.
Hashtag team top shelf. You got Bryce here who, by the way, and he's the one who brought up the whole fact that Will Ospreay over here is fucking trying to steal the fucking gimmick. He's trying to go with this next level shit. No. You keep doing this. You keep doing all the way up here. It's fucking top shelf, baby. And he's stealing Bryce's thing too, because Bryce was the first one to go way the fuck up here. Okay, Bryce has always been way the fuck up there. He's just allowing myself to be in his atmosphere for a little bit.
I mean, Will can take whatever he wants from you because he can kill you.
Will can't touch me, dude. Ospreay's a bitch, and he knows it. Because he bitched out like after Wrestle Kingdom complaining about fucking Omega being that much better than him. Dude, he's like,
well, there goes Will Ospreay ever coming on the 2 count. Thank you, everybody. You thank Tom and Chillstrom for that one.
Bullshit, dude. You know for a fact it's me calling him out that's going to get him on this fucking show in the first place, dude.
Not till he sees your picture, and then he's like, I'm not even going to do that.
Dude, he's fucking like 5'9". He's lucky if I allow him anywhere close to my atmosphere. Okay.
No, we don't need to throw in size or training alone. He can kill you.
Bullshit, dude.
Mm-hmm.
All he can do is this flippy dippy shit, and that's it.
That's enough.
He's not even a good leader of his own fucking club, dude.
That's enough to kill you.
Jeff Cobb is more of a leader of that fucking group than he is. Great O'Khan is more of a fucking leader of United Empire than Will Ospreay. I said it. There you go.
Here's what I want to know.
Live top shelf in his own fucking group.
Here's what I want to know is who do you guys think is going to win the men's one for the United States title? Because I do think this would be a very interesting time to pull the trigger and put that strap on Bronson Reed. Because that guy could be huge.
Yeah, Bronson Reed should win it, to be real honest with you. I think he's the most likable in that group and also the biggest trajectory. I think Johnny Gargano needs to be probably actually up a level and needs to be going for championships after WrestleMania. Like, because I genuinely believe they need to split this title up to make it more relevant across the board, because they haven't done shit until now, really, with the United States Championship. They haven't done shit with the Intercontinental Championship in a long time. So I mean, Gunther is defending against Madcap Moss, which, real honestly, if Madcap wins it, fucking who gives a shit then? Because you might as well throw that in the fucking garbage. Madcap Moss is a fucking
Minnesota, baby.
dude, but he's also an Eagles fan, so go fuck that dude, right?
Not because they lost, so haha.
Yeah, they're just the last loser. That's all. Same result for everybody outside the Chiefs this year, right?
I wanted that so badly. I wanted it so badly, just so all those Philly fans could just suck it.
They still flips over cars like a bunch of fucking maniacs, those goddamn fucking knuckle draggers. And I'll say that too, and I'll fucking say it right in Philadelphia too. Pick up your fucking knuckles and go work a goddamn job instead of trying to be street urchins, you fucking cows.
The funny thing is they fucked
good.
themselves. The funny thing is they fucked themselves out of the game. So you also want to be mad at somebody? Go be mad at your own football team. They cost you the game. I think Bronson Reed would be a great name to put out on, but I also don't think we're going to see if we see anything title wise change anywhere before Mania at this point. I think it is going to be the split of the titles with Reigns. But that's the other thing. You look at this and it is for the undisputed universal title on Saturday. So we already know if Zayn wins, he's taking both. So here's the deal, though. WWE loves to do it. We end up with a triple threat match. Cody, Sammy, Reigns at Mania.
HW, you're right. I think the U.S. title does belong on somebody like a Rollins. I mean, Theory is an arrogant guy too, but not to the level. He's annoying, arrogant. He's not arrogant, cool like a Rollins is. And this is not me marking out like Cole Cannon and Joey Jojo. Both those guys showed up Impact Pro Wrestling this last week wearing the same exact Seth Rollins shirt because Iowa loves them some Seth Rollins. Fucking marks. Anyway, I'm on fire today, man. Like, I feel good. Like, I came on here, I was pretty fucking tired, and then lo and behold, man, I got out here and just feeling it, man. I'm vibing with the audience today. Here we go. Yeah, Bryce gets you. Fuck those guys.
I am excited because Saturday we find out what the deal is, and then again, it's all systems go. The next big show will be Mania, so we're going to really see some stuff take shape, and it's exciting time. It's an exciting time. We just had the Super Bowl this weekend, which is another spectacle of an event, and now we're about to be at the grandest stage of all in a really cool stadium at SoFi. I still hate the 2-night thing, but I'm excited to see where this all ends up going.
Well, so Dan, actually, it's not that Rollins has never main event Mania. He's just never main evented as a projected or part of the card, right? Because he, WrestleMania 30, whatever, from Levi's Stadium, he, cashed in the Money in the Bank against Lesnar and Reigns. So he did main event then, but he's just never been on the card as the main event. Which I guess 2 nights of this stuff, you never know. I mean,
well, that means he hasn't main evented Mania.
He did. He did win the main event, though. So he didn't win a main event. He just didn't. Yeah. He wasn't on the advertised card, if you will, right? Card subject to change, right? So,
well, the other thing too is if they add the Money in the Bank match back to Mania, and we get it. Then we already know something could happen that night at Mania. Or just, something could happen shortly after. But I do like that idea of bringing that back. 2-night show, you got to do some stuff.
Yeah. I think what you do is you have the women's Money in the Bank one night, the men's the other night.
Yeah.
Just to have something that kind of splits it up, right? Because they're never really. I think even looking back, COVID sucked, obviously, but
really?
That Money in the Bank match that went through WWE
horrible
headquarters.
They had the men's and the women's going at the same time too, right?
Yes, yeah, but that's the only reason I liked it was because of how much insanity you could have. But yeah, it's like the Stadium Stampede matches with AEW, right? You have too many camera shots that you need to fucking line up. It's really fucking difficult, dude.
But I think that like the Stadium Stampede was good because it was still a match. Like they were fighting the whole time. Like
Yes.
they tried to stick in too many little funny ha moments and moments in this one that they did at WWE headquarters
Right.
that it just came off so bad. Like,
Well, and that's part of it, too.
wasn't it? Didn't someone get pushed off the ladder? But you could also see like the edge of the fucking mat they fell on behind, like move. Like it was really just
Yes.
It was a bad look. But they did what they could do. What do you guys talking about Taco Bell? These guys.
Man, I tell you, this is what I love about our chat, man. Like, I love that ACW and Bryce are talking. I love that Dan's out here throwing out his opinions and stuff like that too, man. Like, you know, the Freak showing up, Tor's out here, Nella's throwing around some stuff, man. Like, this has been a pretty packed night of the chat, by the way, too. You guys have been fucking killing it, man. I will admit when these folks are killing it and stuff. So appreciate everybody tuning in, man. Again, there's a lot of things that people could be doing tonight. You know, just drinking by themselves, or apparently going on dates, or you know, being with a loved one. But you know what? Cheers to everybody here. All right. Where's your beer?
I don't have a beer, but I got my Claire Brew.
Hey, close enough.
Yeah, buddy.
That's for all the fans of the 2 count right there. Most of your top shelf too. I'll fucking admit it. Most of them. Good chunk of them, maybe.
Dates are for lames. Dates are for mids. Mid. There you go,
That's
Tina.
nope.
Away, Tina.
We're gonna delete that one, Tina. That's a gross statement. We don't need to know that.
Tom's gonna be his own Valentine after the show too. Don't worry about it.
Oh no, I'm gonna go get blitzed in my kitchen. I can't be my own Valentine's when I'm drunk. Oh, see, look at Timmy Nella coming through, man. Look at that, like making a guy feel good about this too.
Oh,
Stacy's out here too.
Stacy.
Hell yeah!
Had a blast.
Thank you, Stacy.
Oh, Bryce. One of your girls too. Watch her be watching this and be like, "What the fuck?" That would.
I hope that's not the case, but well, I mean, geez, that was fucking Saturday. Must have been hell of a fun time for you then, right? She was there, wasn't she?
Yeah, she could. Yeah, her sister and Frankie J.
Were we supposed to say that, by the way?
Wasn't that a cage match?
Yeah, it was. Were we supposed to say that?
Yeah, I think he did on our show that they were on, to be honest.
Okay. Well, I wasn't sure.
And they kind of gave it away when her pick of who she wanted to go against in the Tom game was JR.
Well, that's true too, I suppose. But
Jesus. Oh my God, Bryce.
please don't tell me it was the fucking motel or the or what, the Motel 8 or 6 or whatever, Super 8.
Yeah, we don't want to be by their room at Madhouse. That's all I'm saying.
Dude, yeah, we're gonna have some full fucking months coming up down to Iowa, man. I mean, we got an Absolute show at the end of this month. We got 2 Absolute shows in March. Madhouse is kicking off their season April 29th down there at the Knoxville or the Countryside Wedding Event Center there in Knoxville. So
got a lot of good stuff going on. We got the Hall of Fame in Waterloo. You've got we always hit the Bauhaus show in August at the Bauhaus at First Wrestling.
Yeah. Motel Holiday Inn.
Say what? I would love to see if First Wrestling could pull off another MOA show. I don't know if we'll see it. But
probably not this year, but maybe next year, hopefully. I mean, every couple of years you got to do something because it was fucking packed, dude.
It was a good time going to that show, as well as, like you said, too, we got Absolute Pro Wrestling, who's got a summer full of shows. You got Madhouse Wrestling is going to be bringing some really great shows just your way, doing some new stuff. I've already seen one of the new titles Madhouse has, and it's
oh yeah. Well, I've seen the Absolute new tag titles as well.
Yeah,
boy, those fucking
too. Yeah, I saw those too. MAW show on the 25th. Tina will be going to that. Have a good time over there. If you're in the Minnesota area, make sure you also check out AWF the PD
Yes.
Party. Make sure you check those out.
right.
Madhouse social media is also undefeated. This is true. Madhouse putting out some really special Valentine's Day cards, Madhouse edition today. It's been great watching those come out. And again, there's gonna be some really cool things in store for everybody this year. Just keep your eye on Madhouse Wrestling. So I want to get into this, dude, because it's that time of the year, and I want the chat room to get in this, and let's have some fun with this. But let's get into it. It's Valentine's Day. Tom and I, we're alone, lonely guys. We cry every night. We hug pillows.
Every other night.
Oh, I'm sorry. I read your script wrong. Anyways, what we're going to do, though, is we're going to talk about some of my favorite wrestling couples. And not like, shoot, we're not talking like real shit. I don't care about that. Let's talk about the on-screen couples, the shit and the moments that we were like, what? And I want to jump in right away with one of my favorites, Tom. I got to. It's always entertaining.
Billy and Chuck is what Bryce is saying. Hell yeah, dude. They got all the way to the wedding.
Billy and Chuck. You're crying.
Eddie and China's not a bad choice
Eddie
there,
and
Malice.
China. Well, I'll tell you what. Look at this.
That was some fun shit.
Malice.
That was some fun stuff.
Eddie about to fight in a bow tie. Mamacita, oh, Dumont, like, dude, that was a good stuff. I'm trying to get back to our chat. There it is. Okay.
Macho and Gorgeous George. That's some WCW stuff right there, man. Like,
yeah, I don't have that one, but I have this. I would say is the original couple for a lot of people. Right here, there it is, Macho Man and Elizabeth. And what was great about this is, well, I guess I don't know if you want to say it was great because it may have been a little too real and led to things down the line. But I always thought it was hilarious when David Flair and Miss Hancock, Stacy Keibler, as well, the OG couple, I always thought it was hilarious where he would just like when Mean Gene would be asking Elizabeth a question like, "How are you today?" "Oh, I'm fine, Mean Gene." I was like, "Hey, what are you doing, Gene? Did I say you could talk to her?" Shit like that. When they were going through their shit with Missy Hyatt and Eddie Gilbert.
Mark Henry and Mae Young, dude. Yeah, they had a kid as a hand. Who would have thought? They had cousin It or whatever.
Oh, I had a picture of them too. I don't know where it is. Dang it! I did have one, and I did have this one too, guys. Billy and Chuck.
They got all the way to the fucking wedding, dude.
The funny thing about Billy and Chuck though is they did mainstream media. Like they were on like the Today Show because it was this big thing about these two guys were going to get married on Raw and that they're dudes. And then the whole thing at the end for Billy, hey, this is all just a publicity stunt. We're not gay. I mean, no against gay people, and of course Rico held that.
Fucking, I don't know how that got through.
Yeah, like, how does that get through?
I mean, because I'll be real honest with you, man. With all the ones from HCW or whoever, or Goro especially, where I gotta okay these, and all of a sudden, fucking Malice just drops that. It's no problem. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, roofie and stuff.
Yeah, dude, that's another one. HCW, thank you for bringing that up. That was one I thought of today. I was like, dude, this should have never fucking happened, dude. I mean, I even read an article this week where they were dating in real life, and then she wanted to break it off 2 months into it because China was still living at Triple H's house. And since she still had to work alongside Test, she's like, well, maybe it's just better if we just broke it off. I'm like,
I don't have a picture, but yes, Tajiri and Tori, classic. Jamie Noble and Nydia when they got the double wide. One of my favorites, guys, right here. Edge.
You pervert. You pervert.
My favorites because it was so hilarious. Because everybody knew that was the thing. Everybody knew the whole joke, and that was he's using her for the power. And then the meltdown when she And again, Triple H ruining another wedding. With the video of Edge making out with their wedding planner, also Alicia Fox, and Edge and Lita, they're on there, and then for him to come back and be like, "I was using you, I never loved you," and for Vicky to go all crazy about it, it was some of the funniest stuff because it was the most uncomfortable stuff.
Yeah,
because you've got Vicky coming in. This had to have been how long after Eddie died? A year?
Oh God, I don't.
Couple of years. I mean,
years.
She wasn't right in WWE right away after all that. It took a minute. But again, being how big Eddie was and everything, there was always that like, that's just, the Edge is just straight down tonguing Eddie Guerrero's a widow in the middle of the ring right now, guys. Like, what the fuck is this all about? So I mean, there was some times they got a little uncomfortable, but it was entertaining as fuck.
I mean, in kayfabe though, right? Because wasn't I mean, not to quote HBK, but didn't Bret Hart have some sunny days?
Yeah, I think Sonny, the on-screen partner Sonny had were
wasn't like Chris Candido?
Yeah, Chris Candido, who she actually was dating for real as well. I don't think she really did anything else. The ultimate couple, Benoit and Woman. Oh, that's so bad. Kip and Zip.
HCW, dude. Dude. Whoo. That wow.
So also let's talk about an old school couple that I think was highly entertaining.
Yeah.
Goldust and Marlena, because that again too, and like we talk about how like what they did with Billy and Chuck and how it was very much against the times at that point, right? Trish and Vince, this is great. Everybody's just throwing stuff. I love V-Day. The Camel Hanger. And because Goldust played such a fine line on is he maybe gay? Because he's like doing all the kissing stuff to the other guys, grabbing their butts and shit. I mean, we all saw the Piper Hollywood backlot brawl with him at Mania. I mean, that thing that they were like both made out with each other at some point. And so and that was hard too. Terry Reynolds had a rough go after this because she was so good as Marlena. I always had a huge crush on Terry Reynolds though, so I liked everything she did. But I mean, she's what brought that back around to where it really helped push that Goldust character over instead of that becoming something worse at that time with fans. You know what I mean?
Well, I think too, if we're going to talk about Terry after Melina was done as a character, Marlena, excuse me. I mean, let's not forget about what she and Jackie and Ryan Shamrock had with PMS.
PMS, baby.
And Meat. I mean, they treated me like meat. And see, Bryce knows what I'm talking about there. Yeah, PMS also, and Meat, man.
Terry Reynolds also had a big run with Perry Saturn.
Oh, that's right. Before he left for a mop.
Ditched her for Moppy, though. What the hell was he thinking?
Dude, let's talk about that love affair, huh? Fucking Perry Saturn and Moppy, dude. Like, man, he had to watch his love die right in front of him, too. Moppy got into a wood chipper, and that shit, man, that will traumatize you. No wonder he went crazy and ended up on the streets, dude.
Yeah, this is
New
true.
Jacket, Mass Transit, Malice, dude. Come on, dude. You can't. Just because they spill blood does not mean that they're in love, dude. That kid got lucky, though, man.
Snow and Head, fucking beautiful. Think Goldust losing. Yeah, he probably did. But he also at one time, then was that when he was doing the artist formerly known as Goldust, and he had Luna Vachon with him at that time.
Yeah, but let's be real honest with you, though. No one does artist formerly known as better than Prince Iaukea or the wrestler formerly known as Prince Iaukea.
Right.
Because even he, at the time when he was that character, he had Charmel as his valet. because they didn't know what to do with her, and Booker wanted her hired, and they got rid of the Nitro Girls, so she was his fucking valet for about 6 months, and then WCW went out of business.
And then they went to WWE, and this happened. King Booker. All hail King Booker.
I think that's probably one of the best runs in the WWE of a real couple, though, right there.
100%. There's stuff with Boogeyman when she had to take the worms. My favorite about those two together, though, is they would be all regal and shit backstage and King Booker, and then all of a sudden they'd be like, well, guess what? You're going to be in a handicap match with Stone Cold and The Rock. What?
Tell me
this fool must be tripping. Like, all of a sudden just breaks into that shit.
Tell me you didn't just say that.
Oh, it was classic stuff.
I love Booker T, man. I always will do. That guy was
Charbel. Another powerhouse couple that we should talk about right here. Look at this.
Yeah.
Edge and Lita. And this one, because it started with some real shit, but then it just took a whole life of its own as it evolved on TV. Get back to the comments. We got Miz and Maurice. Yes, 100%. I love Maurice, though. I always liked her. Jeff Jarrett and Karen Angle. Yep, 100%.
Also, if you guys didn't see, Jerry Jarrett just died. So
weird time to bring that up, but yeah.
Hey, you know what? We're not going to talk about it otherwise, are we?
No, not really. We meant to say that at the beginning of the show, actually. We just kind of forgot.
Yeah, we always forget to do our moments of silence, guys. Sorry about that.
But the thing
so I will say this, though, too. I will suggest that there is a lot of young men, young boys probably at the time, that might have got into pornography because of the live sex show between Edge and Lita. I will say that right here, right now, that some of those guys all of a sudden they flip switch like, I need to see more of this crazy ass shit.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And every teenage boy was looking online to try to see that one little camera mishap when he gets out from under the sheet. Man, you guys are just Lawler and Miss Kitty. Yeah, that one was more behind this age.
Yeah, I mean,
Luger and Lily. Yeah,
they had that one match, Lawler and Kitty, but
not only was he there, HCW, I'm convinced he's responsible, which means I forever dislike Lex Luger.
Come on, Topher. I was already into porn before that happened, dude. That fucking was like in my 20s, dude. Come on, dude.
Well,
I was already addicted to that shit.
The thing with Lita and Edge, though, is it really also helped boost the Rated R Superstar and just her becoming heel.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because
also, if you really will, because all this spilled out, really, their on-air relationship really hit a huge trajectory after Matt Hardy was released and then called into that fucking Bite This internet show and exposed the fact that they were dating and then she cheated on him. So, like, that love triangle really helped fucking push both of those to a level like, yeah, dude, like, it's true. It's real. We are okay with this. So,
yeah, which then made for, I mean, that's when life imitates art, they say. Like,
yeah,
it was a good storyline because everybody knew what was going on. And bravo to those guys to be able to actually work together still with that. You know what I mean?
I mean, if you want to talk about Lawler, we could talk about the fact that, I mean, Andy Kaufman and with all those women he wrestled, that probably had to result in at least one relationship, right?
You know, I love, you know, the King is great, but I mean, damn, yeah, dude. Jeff Hardy and Trish for a cup of coffee. You know what I thought was a fun one was when you had Christian and Jericho betting each other that they could get, was it Lita and Trish to fall in love with them?
Mm-hmm.
And then Jericho really does fall in love with Trish, and she finds out about the bet, and then she ends up making out with Christian at like WrestleMania that year. That was good shit too. And then, you know, the another one that I want to, I mean, we got a whole bunch here. So, did we look at a lot of these again?
What about, was it Miss Tori and Kane?
Yeah, that was a thing for a little bit. So was him and Lita. Otis and Mandy, though.
Yeah, you know what? This was that was actually pretty nice.
It was entertaining. It could have went longer, and
Mm-hmm.
it made every fat guy in the world feel good about himself.
Yeah, like maybe you can get that 10. I mean, you can't, but maybe you can. At least catch her off the apron and keep her from being eliminated during the Royal Rumble.
Gonna try.
Okay, this is really dumb because right now HEW put out a comment saying that Kane was a slut, and I still had to allow this fucking comment. So dumb. So dumb.
Kane was a slut. Oh,
Maybe.
that's hilarious. Yeah, we were talking about the wedding and stuff with Billy and Chuck. Yeah, that was all for 3 minute, and Eric Bischoff with the great pull off of the face. And yeah, again, these are things that happened years ago. So I mean, you look at the Triple H and Stephanie storyline, and the whole he drugged her and she got married. Like
Mm-hmm.
that would never ever fly today. I think I said this last week when we played some of the old radio bits. It was like, yeah, this was back in '03. You do this now,
Yeah.
fucking game over. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that was some of the fun stuff with you guys remember Don Marie and Al Wilson?
Oh my god. How did I forget about that one, dude?
Yeah, bro.
That was
I mean,
gross.
I don't know how much Al Wilson got paid for that shit, but he scored big time on that job.
Yeah, dude. I mean, he got to get married in his underwear to Don Marie get married in her underwear. I mean, like,
With her on top of him making out. Life's not bad at that point.
no, it's not. And boy, you just really hope that
The best was when those two went face to face at the funeral over his coffin.
yeah, he died of a heart attack.
Oh my god, dude! Like some of the shit, and it's funny because we're again times are different. Vince had dudes kiss his beeline out. Sable and my wrist from posted 97 and 98. Yeah, just incredible and Francine. Yeah, that one too. Yeah, damn, hitting them all.
Well, and then what was it? Balls and Beulah, weren't they? ECW couple.
I think it was more Tommy and Beulah.
Okay.
And also, fuck, Shane Douglas was with one of them forever too, I believe. Tommy, yeah. And then, God, I can't remember which one we were talking. Oh, well, I was gonna bring this up too because I was watching. They do like top tens and all this stuff on the network, and I was watching stuff that was maybe Valentine's Day theme, and so they did one of top 10 couples, right?
Mm.
And before they do the number one, they did this little side segment, and it's Vince and the Divas, and it literally highlighted how he made like on screen every like diva fucking make out with him or like and I was like, dude, like he was like rubbing Stacy Keebler's like belly and shit, and it's like, what the fuck? And now, fast forward to now, and all these NDAs, and how him and Linda haven't been together forever, and how there's possibly talent that he's been doing these things with. It's like, what a fucking creeper,
Yeah, dude. I mean, yeah, somebody already threw out like Vince and Trish. I mean, Vince and Stacy. I think obviously Trish was part of the Kiss My Ass Club, or almost, before she was saved by The Rock.
Candice Marie. He dry humped a chick in front of yeah. Candice Marie, Stacy Keebler when he was doing the assistant interviews, remember? And
wasn't there something with like Ashley Mazzaro and Christy Hemme when they won the Divas Search stuff? They had to
I'm sure
work with Vince for a month or something like that afterwards, or something like that. I think the only one that really escaped like working with Vince was probably Michelle McCool in that era. Like even Layla had to, like, I think one or two angles where she had to be like involved with Vince in some respect. I think Michelle was the only one to get away with not doing anything with that fucking old creep.
Well, I don't think the Bella twins really had to do anything with him either.
That's true.
And I don't remember the Bella twins having too many on-screen love storylines. I do remember them fighting over Daniel Bryan while he was with Gail Kim. which then odd enough he ends up marrying Brie for real, which is kind of funny. But especially when you look back in that shit, and like Daniel Bryan was not.
Well, Daniel Bryan and
special.
AJ Lee too for a while.
Well, AJ Lee is one of those ones that her story was so entertaining. What's this? I bet you backstage they did. Yeah, for sure that happened a few times back there. Old Laurinaitis is probably in on that. Oh yeah.
Jesus,
You're not getting Future Endeavor tonight.
Gotta spit on my fucking water. I mean, I guess if anything on this bar is worth spitting out, is water.
I wonder if he's still married to the Bella's mom.
No, because I think I thought they separated after his fucking NDAs came out or something like that, right?
Well, I never heard, but you would assume that that's probably what happened.
I mean, I don't know if their mom is as hot as or half as hot as they are. Like, I gotta assume that fucking she dumped Laurinaitis in a heartbeat.
You never seen their mom?
No.
Oh, she's on like all their shit.
What, like their show? Because I don't watch their show. Just to let you know.
Yeah, their show, their social medias, all that stuff. She's usually always like ringside at the stuff too when they have their matches. It's like the Rock's mom. She's like front row for every single thing, even if her family's not there.
Yeah. Yeah, but the Rock's mom is fucking royalty in the.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I watched the first season of Total Divas, and then was like, yeah, this is dumb.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if we're talking about real life couples too, right? JoJo and Bray.
I mean, I wasn't really just because
I know, but I'm just saying, like,
because real life,
but that kind of came out of that show.
Yeah. That was such a. I mean, here's the deal. I mean, you want to watch even worse scripted TV than what you watch on Raw and SmackDown? Watch WWE's reality shows. Easy. They're 100 times worth. Yeah, there you go. There's an AEW couple, Sammy G and Ty Mello. You also got Adam Cole and Britt Baker, but they haven't really done any of that. I mean, they're doing stuff with Sammy and Ty, so that's cool.
Well, and when they both won the Owen Hart tournament, Britt and Adam, like that was kind of the closest they got to acknowledging it most of the time. Like Adam, when he came back saying that he's going to get healthy and he's almost there, he did acknowledge the fact, like waking up next to Britt, and I'm like, lucky fucking dog, dude. So, well, that's a real life one too. So I guess, unfortunately I derailed this a little bit as far as the on-screen couples, but yeah, Jungle Boy's a lucky man too. Thanks, Tovar, for that. Yeah, if you want to watch scripted TV, watch The White House. Try and describe not UFOs. Yeah, dude. Well, I mean, I guess, yeah, that's the thing. Kip Saban. I mean, AEW is, I guess, more willing to put on real couples.
Yeah, because what's it? Blade
Penelope Ford and Kip and
Blade and Bunny.
Yeah. I mean, and they have no problems with having Hangman Adam Page talk about Renee Paquette and Mox being married and everything like that. So,
oh, really? Like I said, I'm really behind on AEW. Just haven't been watching it.
Well, and it's honestly so hard because if I'm working and then if I try to work out, Monday or Wednesday is a really good night to just try and go and hit some open mics if I want to in the city. So like, I've been doing some of those here and there, and then when I get home, a lot of times, like, all right, I guess I'll throw on some AEW, but I'm so fucking bored and tired by the time I get like to that show. Like, I'll watch anything that kind of leading up to. I'm like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't think it's the best show ever, but Big Bang Theory is probably the worst fucking show to have running in to Dynamite, because no one who is watching that show is sticking around for fucking Dynamite. And I don't want to turn over to fucking TBS any earlier than I fucking have to, because some people might like that show, whatever. It's not good writing. It's just they really worked well with the fucking laugh tracks and how to fucking place them so everybody feels like it's a fucking hit. And It sucks, dude. It's a bad fucking show. Just gonna say it.
Everybody left after you said you hated The Big Bang Theory.
No, that's not true. They just, oh my god, they did. Numbers cut in half. They're like, oh, this fucking guy. Okay, fucking later, dude.
He was kidding. He loves The Big Bang Theory.
I hate Big Bang Theory, but all right. Sorry,
I
everybody.
don't mind that show. I do feel like we knew AEW was going to maybe take a hit with the switch from TNT to TBS. So, and I think,
Well,
that's,
especially, yeah,
something you're seeing now. They're just two different kinds of networks. They really are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's the whole thing too. Like with WCW, TNT was their big show. That was Nitro, and then Thunder was on TBS. Thunder was always an afterthought because it's on TBS, and TBS will always be around. It's it's not going anywhere. But I just believe that if you put that show back on TNT, but they won't because they got fucking hockey, I just think it does better. But it's still a decent product. I did watch this last week. They did, you know what? To see the Impractical Jokers, Q got put on a table, and then Murr got thrown through him and the table. That was pretty entertaining. So thank you, JAS, for doing some good in the world. So, but that might have been fucking Rampage, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
It was Rampage.
Oh, fuck me. All right, then. Never mind. I didn't watch Dynamite.
I mean, it's hard. It's hard for a wrestling fan right now because you've got the two main companies each have 2 shows a week. More than that, really, because then you got NXT, which is on tonight. You've got Dark on tonight. You've got Dark on yesterday night. You've got last night. You've got somewhere in between there, ROH may be doing, they're not really doing anything. They may be doing something soon. You've got Impact that's running on Thursdays?
Thursdays. Yep.
NWA, I can't remember when NWA is running, but they're coming back to YouTube, so that's going to be an added thing. And it is. It's very rough, and that's why right now, it's it's Road to Mania. I can focus on that.
Well, and that's true too, because I mean, with the next pay-per-view for AEW is Revolution in March.
Correct. Yes.
So that's another thing we're questioning right now. Yeah, and if you really wanted to, there's always trying to find New Japan or anything or even Noah's doing some great things right now this year too, especially having Muda's last match and some of the Shinsuke stuff as well. So I don't know, man. It's really tough to be a fan and have everything going. I mean, hell, Dan, I don't know how it is to be on the Jericho cruise and all of a sudden have to come back and jump into things. Yeah, I did see that from this last Wednesday that the fucking Guns are the goddamn tag champions. Fucking, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever. It does sound like, by the way, too, I don't know if you saw any of this, just to talk to some AEW fans here. It does sound like the next plan for House of Black is to be Trios champion. So they're just kind of lining up the right time. I think they'll probably be for Revolution is House of Black versus the Elite. And I think that should be a pretty damn fine match to watch there too, because I think you need to do something with House of Black, and the Trios Championship is probably the easiest. That way you get all of them involved. So, I mean, that's just what I'm hearing from the rumor mills. Or maybe I'm just making it up and everybody's just going to follow along. Just fucking book it, Tony. I just will it into existence, please.
He might do it if he hears you.
Yeah, me and TK were like this, actually.
Might. That's so funny. What is this? Was when he hit his hand.
Oh, yeah. Or the back of his head, I thought. Wasn't it?
It was his hand, I thought.
Oh, maybe. Oh, yeah, because he was great. Okay. Now that I look at it again, yeah, you're right. He hit the hand. And
yeah.
Oh, that's a big storyline, too, is that Jay did come back on SmackDown. And him and Jimmy defended the titles against Braun and Ricochet.
But then he left.
He left, but Sammy found him backstage.
I did. I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. again, it just adds more fuel to this. They could literally go about 5 different ways with this whole bloodline storyline.
Yeah, main event Jay is correct. And I don't know how long they can keep those titles on the Usos, because of the fact that the best story that they can do with Jay at this point is, basically have him screw Roman out of the title, and then probably just walk away from his brother too, because Jimmy's going to stay loyal, and Jay was the whole reason the fucking bloodline formed in the first place, dude. He had to lose to Roman, and then basically that just formed the fucking bloodline, dude. He had to stay loyal to Roman after that loss, man. So
yeah, 100% this all started with Jay. It could be fitting if they end it all with Jay. I don't see it happening because, the other thing too is we all were talking about how, it's going to be Zayn and Owens, and they're going to finally get the titles together. They're going to take it off the Usos. They're going to be the one in that reign. Well, now it's like, well, are they? Or is Jay and Sammy going to take the titles off of Jimmy and what's it? Solo, whatever.
Solo Sequoia.
Yeah, Sequoia.
Like the tree.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, it could easily be those for the I don't know, man. I don't know. And where's Owens been?
Well, and I think that's the whole thing, right? So getting handcuffed to the ropes, getting the chair shots, I think it's just better like to write him off until after Elimination Chamber, and then we'll see where the pieces fall. Or he probably shows up at Elimination Chamber in Sammy's corner because of the fact, I mean, he's French Canadian as well. I don't know if he's necessarily from Montreal itself, but I want to hear some of that old French Canadian accent there from good old KO.
Yeah, dude, that could be a real good call. Owens comes in. Again, I'm very impressed. Like, it's just so crazy that this could go any which way.
Yeah, it's fun to see though, and this is probably the most fun I've had with WWE in a long fucking time.
Right, and and we got some other things that are going to happen. Like, we got to see Logan Paul come back before Mania, because obviously there's going to be a Mania match. So already,
him and Ricochet.
You think? I think it's going to be him and Rollins.
I mean, it does sound like it's going to probably be more Rollins and Paul. But I don't know, man. After that spot at Rumble, dude, like, it almost feels like that would be a pretty fucking killer match, man. But
yeah, and I think we've said this before. Ricochet is for sure going to be a Money in the Bank participant if that happens at Mania because of those capabilities. Logan as well could, in theory, be in that. I don't see it. I see him and Rollins having a match, since his big thing is, I don't care, I eliminated Seth Rollins.
So here's the thing with Logan Paul, though, right? Like, Money in the Bank is not necessarily on his level, because you got to figure he's a celebrity they're bringing in. So you don't need a celebrity to do Money in the Bank, because the guy's already getting fucking paid. Probably better than most of the roster. So he doesn't need Money in the Bank. It's probably nice for his ego, but like, he doesn't need it, because he will probably end up getting a shot maybe at the US title. So maybe that's the thing. Like, Rollins wins at Elimination Chamber with the title, and then Logan Paul wants a title.
Well, and
just to solidify his wrestling career. But
yeah. Well, and I also think, Pat McAfee made his big return at the Rumble.
Right.
Obviously, they want him in the match. He said no. He wanted to come back for commentary. It makes you got to think that, okay, they're probably going to be like, hey, we want you in a match at Mania, right?
Mm-hmm.
McAfee's done a War Games match. If you can do a War Games match, you can do a Money in the Bank match. So maybe we see Pat McAfee get into the Money in the Bank action. That'd be fun. The guy would do whatever,
Well, and that's also to say, too, you never know. He could literally have the case on his show every damn day. And then, if you just see the case gone one day, is like, what do you mean? What case? Like, he could help play that up, where the real life and the kayfabe of it all kind of comes together at that point. So,
well, it'd be great too, is because he's being sued by fucking Brett Favre right now. How great would it be if he shows up at court with the Money in the Bank briefcase?
Yeah, that's how he has all of his documents. Oh, I know there's a contract in here somewhere, but like, here's all the documents. Oh, Money in the Bank, because he's not taking that serious, right? Because I did see the clip from McAfee's show where they all were saying every time we talked about Brett Favre, we always said allegedly, and then they kept saying stuff about Brett Favre during that show, allegedly, and I don't think Brett Favre's case is going to stand up, mostly because both McAfee and Shannon Sharp are not the ones you go after in this situation, because one is a fucking podcaster and the other guy's on a show in a debate format with a guy who's almost Joe Biden levels of fucking inane and stupid right now. It's like Skip Bayless is fucking, I mean, he's dumb. Like, I'm just going to say it that way. He's just dumb. Like, I don't think it's dementia or anything like that, but like, he's not a good sports journalist anymore. It's all fucking opinion stuff. He spent way too much time with Stephen A. Smith. Like,
I was just gonna say, him and Stephen A. Smith. It's like, y'all need to just go. You're not even sports broadcasters anymore.
No, they're not. Like, they're
just
fucking
guys who want
sideshows.
Personal opinions out. That's all.
Yeah, dude.
Dan asked, when does Riddle come back? Don't know.
Oh God.
Riddle is out of rehab. Here's the deal. We don't talk a lot about Riddle here either, just because of some of the bullshit that he's pulled off is with people that we're friends with on this show.
Yes.
So out of respect, we don't generally talk about Riddle. I will say this, he's been out of rehab for a while. There's been pictures floating around. I don't know how quick you see him come back due to all the shit that's been going on. The other thing is, you have this guy selling t-shirts and getting really over with kids, even though he's the pothead gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
And he's full blown going to the adult video awards. You know what I mean? Like, he's not putting out the baby face in public like they would want. And then you got all the stories and just to be honest, I'll throw this out there. I will say this. Anything I've ever heard from anyone who is in the know or who has dealt with this man directly has nothing good to say about this man.
That's true.
And you could take that for what it's worth.
Yes.
Believe it or not, we do know people who know people who know people. And we know some of those people. But that's what I've heard. So I really do think, knowing he's been out of rehab for how long he's been out like a month or two at this point. Because he's been taking pictures publicly. So it really does make me wonder that they're like, I don't think we'll see him at Mania. Because of all this shit. I think they need to like sit him down and they got to reevaluate everything with Riddle.
Yes, I think you're right. And I think also on another point with that is, if they are truly trying to sell, and if Disney or anybody who's family orientated, right? Because Disney still has that shine, even though they've, gotten into producing stuff with Fox and the Marvel stuff. But they still have that shine of being a family entertainment vehicle, right? With Disney Plus, you can find all the cartoons on there. If they sniff a bad seed in any of the shit that WWE is, and if they were interested in buying, they'll fucking go away. And it's bad enough that you're already pushing a guy who is the pothead character, which is fine because most states have it legal in some form or another anyways. However, it's the fact that he has that shitty shroom tattoo. So that's one. He's no longer really a good face for your company if people are starting to look at that. He's always been very upfront about his drug use in a lot of different forms. Even going to rehab, he's probably not going to change a lot of that stuff. He still has poor habits as far as what he does publicly. And I don't think that's going to change either. So,
yeah, bottom line
their
is
minds,
he has too many women out there that are like, dude assaulted me.
Yeah.
And when dude's wife, ex-wife, mother of his own children is like, he's a fuckhead.
Yes.
This is someone who up and left, because they documented all of it for the network, up and left, where they were to go to Florida with him and do this wrestling. Like, bottom line is the dude just has way too many claims out there by women in the industry saying, here's what he did. Here's what he did to me. And
yes,
that is what's going to end it for him. I mean, look what happened to Velveteen Dream. Granted, he was there a lot longer than anyone thought he would be, but we never really saw him come back to TV once some of that shit came out. He was just always kind of there, hired. We knew that. But the shit just kept coming out about him. And finally it was like, you're done. You know, and it's just, you can't now. We've learned this over the years, guys. You can't be that. Look at Joey Ryan. This man lost everything because he was a shitbag and it finally came out.
Well, and I mean, not only that, but look at how it was just even with a guest that we had a couple weeks ago. Really, I mean, when you state publicly who you are and it doesn't work with the branding of where you work, that's a fucking problem. So I don't think, in my opinion, I think Riddle is the next one with future endeavors, if you will, because I don't think he can come back without a Randy Orton, which we don't know his timeline for return either. And I think this is the best way for both parties just to split, go their own directions. No harm, no foul, because Riddle's already off of TV. There's no reason to bring him back because he's not going to push for your main event. He really shouldn't win another title in your company anyway. He really doesn't seem like a U.S. or Intercontinental champion anymore. So it's kind of a mixed bag of where do you find a guy or find space for a guy like that.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah, Bryce, it was. Yeah, Velveteen Dream was underage girls, but that was the weird part is because he was still employed for quite a while after that part came out. He wasn't on screen, but that was what came out. I think it was a Candy Cartwright was one of the wrestlers' names with Riddle. Like he was physically forcing her to do like sexual acts that she didn't want to do, and just physically and sexually, like very assault like, I guess, is the deal with Riddle. And there's been quite a few coming out saying it. The wife has had nothing good to say about him. And then again, he's kind of fucking he fucked over some people that we are, people we're affiliated with. So also it's like that's not cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do think though that he's in he don't have much to give to WWE no more at this point.
No.
And I think the fact that he's been out from rehab for so long and you didn't pull the trigger on throwing him back in the Rumble, because what do you do now? He ain't gonna come out of Chamber. You can't really just insert him somewhere. And the other thing too is, like you said, the only way it would work if his Orton was around. Rumor is Orton is slowly getting ready for a comeback, but I don't think we see that till after Mania.
No, that's exactly it. I mean, the Raw after Mania, or maybe if you like somehow do something like tag match, if both those guys are ready and say, we're gonna have some mystery opponents for you. I mean, that's not the shit that you do for Mania anyways, right? Because you got to build around who you can get on a card, or name names going into it. So
although you never know with this year, because this year did have the biggest gate sold with 0 matches announced.
And I'll be real honest with you though, because it's at SoFi Stadium, and there's a lot of people who are clamoring to get to that stadium for whatever reason, whether it be the Super Bowl or any of the events being held there. So it's a beautiful stadium. It holds a lot of people. So I think some of the gates, that some of the numbers you're referring to are those nosebleed sections where, where they're selling for $60 a night. So that's a pretty good deal for Mania. You may not be able to see that well, but you're still in there for Mania. You still get to tell the stories of, I saw that match between.
Well, and if I remember correctly, SoFi has like a round chasing scoreboard type deal.
Yes.
Which, that was the thing when they go to Dallas and they do AT&T Stadium. Yeah, pay the $30 and sit the freaking highest high nosebleeds, which if you've been in that stadium, it's high, man. It's high. I was 3 levels up, and I wasn't at the highest level. We still had good seats, but I mean, I remember looking clear across to the corner of across from us in the stadium. It was like ants, dude.
Yes.
Like, that's how big that fucking place is. So when they do that and it's $30 and you can still be in the building, but have the giant screen in front of you to watch it. Yeah, like you said, that's not a bad night out for the fam. You can say you're at WrestleMania, you watch most of it on the screen, but then you're there to feel it, see all the spectacle. So yeah, maybe that's the deal. But
And it sounds like too, because it's technically that same is in Inglewood, so it's not LA proper, if you
Inglewood
will.
up to no
Yeah,
good.
it is up to no good. But it sounds like there's Stan Kroenke was smart enough to find an area of Inglewood where developers want to be, and hotels are going to be relatively cheap. So there's a big factor in the fact that you're not in LA. I mean, you could say you're in LA, right? But the hotel stays are cheaper. The tickets are going to be cheaper for up in the nosebleed. So there's a lot going for the fact that it works in a lot of different aspects that, you know, like, and that's the same thing with even AT&T Stadium. It's in Arlington. It's not in Dallas. It's in Arlington. And there's cheaper hotels and there's technically easier ways of getting around than if it was in downtown Dallas. So, all right. Tovar wants to talk about us saying that JR is a spy balloon. I don't know if he is a spy balloon, but he is not here. So I guess you're going to have to ask him next week, Tovar. Get back out here next week and let JR know that you are saying he's a spy balloon.
I mean, he is round. He is round.
Well, we're all kind of round if you really think about it. This might be the most rotund show on Twitch too.
Right, JR is just hovering right now over the sky. Just,
I mean, there is something to say that he is full of hot air as well. So,
yeah, and when he can't get something to work, we see it all come out. It's hilarious,
dude. I love when he loses his shit. Like, you guys don't get to see it nearly as much as Ace and I do, but if there's something not going right before the show, dude, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, JR has hit that point in life where he's just like, whatever, I don't fucking care.
He got shot down in the Yukon. No, man, all the planes made it to the U.S., man. He's not in the Yukon.
Oh, shit. What's up, Shanky boy?
Shanky boy over on YouTube, baby. Dude, I can't wait for next week, the 25th, getting back with Absolute, by the way, man.
Look at that. We got both of we got the boys are in the house. It's official.
That's right. Top shelf living the life here in the fucking 2-count chat, baby. Fortunately, they're on different platforms, but we can have them talk to each other, right? Just throw up their comments back and forth.
Of course. Of course. You know, one wedding we didn't talk about that I like to throw out just because I think it's hilarious. Remember when Teddy Long was going to get married on SmackDown, but then had a heart attack?
Holla, holla, holla. I didn't realize now I should not have said that.
Holla, 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 holla.
Oh, man. Yeah, dude. I forgot about that. Who was he supposed to marry?
Fuck, I don't even remember because she wasn't there long.
Wasn't that supposed to be? Was it like that gal who was like JBL's special?
No, because that was Crystal.
Amy Weber.
Bryce nailed it. It was Crystal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's right.
You're thinking of Jillian.
No, so Jillian was that was the consultant.
That was JBL's thing.
I thought she was,
because he ditched her in the ring with the Boogeyman, and the Boogeyman, because she had that thing on there.
Yeah.
And the Boogeyman ate it off her.
No, so I was thinking the original consultant that he had, which was Amy Weber, and she, I think, sued the company later and stuff because she was like a Diva Search person, and then some photos of hers from Playboy got leaked or something like that. Yeah, Tim Nella. I saw that clip, by the way, too, all the times that Teddy Long told somebody, you're going to face The Undertaker.
Hold on a minute, player.
In the main event, you're going to take on The Undertaker.
Hold on a minute, player. We're going to make this match right here tonight a tag match.
Dude, Teddy Long was, man, he was the fucking best, dude.
Teddy Long was the shit. I remember I ran into, this is during WrestleMania 28 weekend. We were at the Hooters in Miami. And at that time, I still kind of know who each other are. But Justin Roberts, because we have a mutual friend, and I've met him here in Rochester, oddly enough, years ago when they were doing a house show. And we would just run into each other at shows. I was showing him, we have this 4 Horsemen tattoo, me and some buddies, and I showed him that once. And he saw me at the Hooters, Justin Roberts, and he was like, hey, what's up, man? How's it going? I was like, hey, how you doing over there? And then all of a sudden he was like, oh yeah, dude, you got that horseman tattoo. Hang on a second. And he starts yelling. And all of a sudden here comes Teddy along. He's like, yo, Teddy, look at this. I show him the thing, and I show him, and Teddy just starts laughing. He's like, that's funny. And I was like, oh, that was cool. All right, later, man. Later, Teddy. All right, later. It was just like, what the fuck just happened?
Did he call you player?
He did, but he left. I was like, hey, have a good one, Teddy. He's like, all right, player, be good. Like, it was hilarious.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's all. That's worth it then, right?
Oh, for sure. Teddy Long was the shit when I met him. Hell yeah. I'll tell everyone until I'm blue in the face. I've never ever really had any bad beats. I really haven't. Honky Tonk was the only one that was like, fuck you. Like, you suck.
Didn't you just say that before we got on that Jeff Jarrett was a prick to you too?
Yeah, Jeff Jarrett was kind of a prick, yeah.
Maybe it's those intercontinental champions, man. You got to fucking avoid them.
Well, but him, I just kind of tried to say hi to, and he was just like, whatever. Yeah, dude, fuck Honky Tonk, man. For real, dude. Fuck him.
Yeah, Bryce, didn't you have like a bad run-in with fucking Honky Tonk too?
You had a run-in with a Honky Tonk, man, Bryce?
I don't know. I thought him and I talked about that once. Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of just you telling me the story multiple fucking times.
It could be because JR always makes me tell the Honky Tonk story because he thinks it's hilarious. And to be honest, though, it's a great story because it does end with me having a smoke with Larry Zbyszko and Nick Bobwinkle. So
it's not bad company to be keeping.
Watching and laughing at Honky Tonk Man as the promoter was telling him that he's off the show and he's not paying him because of how he treated me and the other morning show DJ and what he told the sponsor's grandson. Because the kid asked for an autograph and he said no. And then the sponsor was like, he told my fucking 6-year-old grandson no. And the promoter was like, oh. So he's like yelling at Honky Tonk, throws his bag in the trunk, doesn't have a shirt on. Fuck this place anyway. Gets in, just speeds out in the rental car, just fucking peels out of the grandstand at our fairgrounds. And I'm just sitting there smoking with Zbyszko and Bobwinkle, and they're just like, oh, man. Bobwinkle told me I should buy his book. I'm like, yes, sir. I will. Still haven't done that, but no, not me.
It wasn't Bryce. Sorry about that, Bryce. Wait, maybe it was fucking Ricky Bronson was telling me. Maybe I don't. I know that there's one other dude that has a fucking Honky Tonk story where it's like, dude, fucking straight up, fuck that dude.
Yeah, he's a jerk. He is a jerk. How so? Have you? How many? Like, have you been starstruck meeting wrestlers yet? Like, who and like how?
Not so much. A little bit here and there. So like, I'm a huge Ethan Page fan, dude. Like, and every time I get to shake the dude's hand, it's a truly a pleasure. Like, the dude is honestly one of the nicest dudes, but it's really hard for me not to just only see the character, right? Like, or want to talk to them about their wrestling because that's what I know them from, right? But like, when we did that night before Saturday Night Nitro with First Wrestling, right? They had that fan fest. Like, it was really hard for me not to like go like real deep in talking with Colt about the CM Punk shit because it just happened, right? Like the weekend before.
That probably would have also been a really good way for him to be like, I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, dude, whatever.
He don't like anybody bringing that kind of shit up.
No, then that's exactly it. So I'm like, I know some jackass is gonna fucking say this. This is the same reason they all have somebody that works with First Wrestling kind of being there, like, hey, all right, it's kind of time to move on, man. Like, so but Ethan Page has been really cool. Once. What's that?
I had to do that for Kurt Angle once. Fucking nice. There and just tell people to move on.
I think with that fan fest though too, like even with like Jerry Lynn was super cool. Cardona was fucking cool. Victoria, so she was really cool, like fucking choking you out and shit. Like, but it's really hard. Like, there's certain people too, and I think that's the whole thing. Like,
when did he do this?
Oh God.
Of course.
I hope that wasn't fucking Waterloo, dude. God, I hope that wasn't Waterloo.
You don't like Jackson then.
But I mean, realistically though, since I've been more involved with and knowing people, not only just obviously the guys down there in Iowa and how great they've been, but like knowing some of the Minneapolis wrestlers now through this show, Ricky Norn, knowing Bill Williams, and even Petey Brown.
But you're not starstruck with those guys though.
No, and and a lot of these guys are, that's the whole thing too. You can't get too big in your head about where you are, right? So like, I know plenty of comics who have said the same thing. Like, dude, Kevin Hart knows that he kind of got lucky in a lot of respects because he kind of hit the right spots at the right time, and you get seen, and somebody moves you up. So like, being in entertainment already, like, I don't want to be like, oh yeah, I'm Tom Chilstrom, I'm a local comedian. Yeah, nice to meet you, man. Like, I'm not a dick about it, but like, I don't know, man. It's fun to just meet some of these guys and actually hear their stories, because they've all seen some shit. I mean, again, Bryson's in the chat here, Shank's been in the chat, man. Like, these are actual wrestlers and stuff hanging out in our chat, and they're real dudes. They're like fucking. I mean, JR has a problem with Bryce, but like, I don't know a single person who doesn't like Shank, man. Like at all.
Yeah, I mean, Dan.
And I think JR is the only one that has a problem with Bryce too.
Dan, he kind of got screwed when AEW signed him, and he got pushed to ROH. The cool thing about Colt is he'll always be able to work the independent scene and be good. So,
Bryce, you are top shelf, yeah,
dude. Because I remember, like, I got to meet a few people, like I said, Bobby Heenan was a big deal, even though it was sad because he couldn't talk.
Yeah.
I mean, you can act as cool as you want, but when you're shaking Undertaker's hand and taking a picture with him, you're like, you're the fucking Undertaker, dude. Like, what the fuck?
I guess I will say that though too. Like, this last year in Waterloo with Jim Ross and Trish Stratus, those are probably the only two times, because Jim Ross has just seen so many fucking things. He's been around for so long. He has literally met basically everybody. And Trish Stratus is just one of those ones, like, she was a huge draw for the weekend. Everybody wanted to talk to her. Super sweet in person, like, just an absolute delight to be around and say hi to and stuff. But like, that's a little bit different though too, because that's literally like teenage Tom, like teenage top shelf, not knowing what to do with like the idea, like, you're meeting somebody who you were literally like, oh, she's so pretty, like that was literally like a first like wrestling crush right there. Was literally probably like Tori Wilson and Stacy Keibler over in WCW, and Lita and Trish in WWE, man. Like,
dude, I'll tell you what, like, it's cool, man. Like, what's cool about doing this, and what's cool about meeting the people that we have met, and just being around this for as long as I have, because I've got many more years on it than you got. And like I think back, like, I think it was WrestleMania 32 weekend, and I was on a different podcast at that time, wrestling wise, and we were doing WrestleCon with this other broadcast company. They were using us to kind of show what you can do, and it was about doing your own commentary. Either way, while we were at WrestleCon, though, we were also conducting interviews at our table. And I remember we had Savio Vega.
wow.
And my time at the time, my co-host, who, I love wrestling and just as much as anybody else. I'm big, one of those guys that he's the best at everything. So of course he's the best wrestling fan. Never watched wrestling until the Attitude Era though. So like, didn't know shit about the Hogan, Macho Man war. Like, none of all that was before his time. So we're interviewing Savio Vega, and we get like 10 minutes in, and he's like done. He's like, and I'm like, it's fucking Savio. So then I'm like, hey man, I want to hear about the night you and Stone Cold Steve Austin had a fucking strap match and the power went out. And no one got to see it. This dude went on for about 25 minutes after that with me for that one and like two other questions. And by the end of it was loving me. The next day he comes in to sit down at his table that was across from me. My boys, with his coffee in his hand. My boys. It's my boys. We're like, oh, Savio, what up, homie? Like,
yes.
Those are the things that being able to do this kind of stuff is like that same weekend, the second day, the table next to us was Billy Gunn's table. So we were kicking it with him, the Ass Boys before they were even the Ass Boys and his wife.
Right.
I have a picture of his boys doing commentary at our table, and he's behind them. And I brought this up to them when we were at Full Gear, when we were at that club, and they both instantly remembered it. Like, oh my God. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's insane, dude. It's insane.
Actually, I will say this though too. Like last week or last year at Waterloo, since I had never met Wes Briscoe beforehand, right, and knowing that him and you are friends, like I was a little starstruck based on the fact that, like, I want to make sure the guy likes me because you and I are friends. So I want to make sure that Wes is cool with me because we're going to spend some time together on the weekend, man. So I'm like, all right, like, just don't freak out. Yeah, Aces and Eights, that was fucking cool. That was dope as shit. But like don't fucking mark out, if you will, man. It's like the whole time I'm like, dude, like, I'll be chill. I'll be Tom Chillstrom. Like, just, I was never top shelf around Wes, that's for sure. Like, I didn't do the fucking stupid ass character and shit, but like, yeah, man, like I played it real straight. Like I was just honest with Wes and stuff like that, man. Like, and yeah, he was a cool dude, man. Like, so I was literally like, okay, cool. Like, Wes and I can get along for sure. No problems there and stuff like that. Like, but I was genuinely a little scared, but I was going to fucking pull some Mark shit. I'm like, I'm going to be out of this fucking inner circle real quick.
Dude, I'll tell you what, it's hard, dude, especially that aspect. Like, doing some of the shows I've done with Wes, some of the guests we've had, I've had to really work on, like, before we do it, don't say something, dude. Don't ask us. Like, when we had Dr. Tom Pritchard on, I'm like, I mean, this guy trained the fucking Rock and all these other fucking legends. Like, you kidding me? Like, you kidding me? This guy's gonna come just shoot the shit with us? Chavo Guerrero, fucking Heath Slater, and for Heath to be like, oh, Ace baby, what's up? Like, all these fucking guys. Like, it's insane, and it's insane to think that, like, Jerry Papa Briscoe, as I call him, he'll shoot me a happy birthday every year, all this stuff, and it's like, this is like one of the fucking most dominating tag teams of the independent scene. This is the brother of one of the best NWA champions in the world, and Jack Briscoe. And then to be like, this guy was involved in some of the biggest moments in the Attitude Era.
Mm-hmm.
And like, we know each other. We're family now. Like, you know what I mean? It's insane, some of these things. But I'll tell you one time that I like really fucking, dude, I fucking choked hard. Very hard. I thought I was going to do it when I met Paige for the first time, but I didn't. I was actually really cool, and we were cool, and she was super awesome. Almost with Renee Young. The first time I met her, I almost couldn't handle it. I was like, oh my God. But so we're at what's this? Nah, you're good, buddy. No one. You're fine, Bryce. No, you didn't get on his bad side. We may have news about the Briscoe and Big A show too. I talked to him last week. He's getting rejuvenated. Things are going in the right direction. So speaking
of Briscoes, by the way, too, I did see at the Hall of Fame this year, Jerry is the only one that they have said is appearing this year so far. I'm like, he missed last year.
That's not true. They've announced a bunch.
No, I mean, I'm sorry. When I first saw it, he was the only one that was confirmed. This about a week ago. Like, he was the only one that was confirmed to be there this year. Was Jerry? I'm like, of course he is, man.
Oh yeah, no, they JBL's coming now again. They did a bunch of names during like the first week of January. They do like a 12-day thing where they just announce stuff. But so we're at New York. It's WrestleMania 29, fan access, right? We're waiting in line, and this is when you had Ziggler, Big E, AJ Lee. That's the group. And this is actually the weekend that Ziggler cashes in on Del Rio on the Raw after Mania. So we're in line to meet them. Huge crush on AJ Lee, dude. We all had it. Let's be honest, we all had it. Huge crush. Huge. So when you go to these like access signing stuff, guys, Tom, you get in line, you got to go through the line. They always stop it because they're doing maybe some video shit, or they always stop it every once in a while to go to then the handicap accessible line for people in wheelchairs and stuff, and they'll go do pictures and signatures with them for a little bit. Then they come back to the table and resume with the line of all of us. And so it gets to the point where I'm next up. Now, this is the year that Access wasn't done in a convention center like every year. It was actually done in the arena that they were going to do Raw at. So it was a little bit like we had to go through the seating to get to it, and they were like in the concourse, like with the arena to the back, whatever. So I get up in line, and I'm like super excited, like, oh my god, I'm gonna meet like cool Ziggler, cool Big E, but oh my god, I'm gonna meet AJ Lee. Oh my god, like this is amazing. And they stop me. It's my turn to go up on the little stage where they're sitting at the table. They stop me so they could do the handicap sectional stuff. They all, as it's like winding down, AJ's the first one back at the table sitting there, and they had her like in the middle. Then the other guy, like Big E, came back, and then Ziggler was there, but he was like talking to somebody, and then the person's like, okay, you can go, and like moved out of my way, and I just like look up and just locked eyes with AJ Lee. And she's just sitting at the table, looking at me, and like just smiled, like because she saw the person said like I can go up. I fucking froze, dude. I got up there and I'm just like, thank you.
Yep.
Gorgeous. She killed me. She looked at me and I was just like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was able to talk to Big E. Dolph was Dolph. He was in character, so he was kind of just, I am perfection. But dude, I fucking froze so hard. Like it was like my buddy behind me had to like nudge me, like go, and I was like, oh
yeah. You know what? I did forget. So last year with the Full Gear weekend, I went to that bowling event, right? That bowling fundraiser.
Yeah.
Getting the photo with Dustin Rhodes was the hardest fucking thing I've ever had to do in regards to wrestling, because of the fact it's Dustin fucking Rhodes. He already looks pissed off fucking being there because he's had to take photos with everybody. It's the end of the event. So everybody has to fucking like get out of there because Memory Lane's just trying to kick everybody the fuck out. I'm like, hey man, Dustin, I've been a fan of everything you fucking done, dude. Like The Natural. I go, fuck, I'm probably one of the only people who like the fucking Sevens shit because those vignettes had me fucking captivated. I'm like,
and he's like, you're an idiot.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I know it wasn't good, and I like even the Impact Black Rain shit wasn't good, but like, I still enjoyed it because you fucking still did it. Like it was still you behind it. He's like, hey, thanks, man, I really appreciate it. I go, can you do me a favor? Can I get a selfie real quick? He's like, all right, yeah, you're the last one though. I'm like, fucking cool, man. Like, and like, I was just trying to like to not even like breathe on him. I'm like, all right, like, thanks, Dustin. All right, and then. That was probably the one because I was like, dude, I mean, I'm an idiot when it comes to some of that old WCW shit, but like he is the closest I'm going to get to like a Ric Flair or like a Dusty Rhodes, obviously, but like he was around and knows all of that shit. Like he saw so much of the shit with like Roddy Piper in WCW and obviously in WWF. Like he saw so much of the shit. Like he is history personified at this point as far as wrestling because he's been around. He's seen all of it. He was there firsthand for so much of it. Like that was for me, like that was the hardest one because, you know, Cody would be like, yeah, whatever. You know, I got like all of like the Dark Order to sign my shirt and take a photo with me because apparently I was the only one wearing a fucking Brody Lee shirt that day. So they're all like, this fucking guy. I'm like, yep, you want to take a photo with me? Like, let's do it. Let's sign the shirt and let's take a photo. But like Dustin Rhodes was like literally probably the one that was the hardest just because, again, so much fucking history with that dude around everybody. So
that's awesome, man. Yeah, it's been a good time getting to meet some people, man. That's another good thing. Like Dan will tell you too. The boat, the cruise, if you have a chance to go on a Jericho cruise, very good way to meet some of these people in a very fun, casual way, and even build some friendships with some of these guys. It's crazy.
Shanky wants to smoke one with Joey Diaz. I could probably make that work.
Listen here, you cocksucker. I'm sure he's coming to the cities. I'm sure he'll play Des Moines at some point.
Probably. I'm sure him and I have at least a couple of mutual friends.
Yeah, you would
Not to brag or anything like that, but I do know some fucking true paid fucking comics and stuff too.
Hashtag humble brag.
Hashtag fucking reality of it, man.
Yeah,
I haven't gotten to work with all those people, but like, you know.
No, I hear you. I'll have people.
Sphere.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I had someone actually be like, "Hey, you're into that wrestling stuff. Do you know that Tyrus guy?" I was like, "Huh?" And they were talking about. And now I can't. What was it? What was his name when he was the Funkadactyl?
Oh,
Brodus Clay.
Bruce Clay, yeah.
And he's Tyrus on Fox News or whatever.
Did you see? By the way, did you see like the Gutfeld commercials?
Yeah, he's in it.
He had his NWA title. I was like, dude, like they had to fucking pay some money for that shit because this is Fox we're talking about, man. Like
he has it on their show every time too, though.
Yeah, but I know, but like to shoot a commercial with it, that's the whole thing. Like that's some fucking money involved with that, dude.
But I had someone ask, they're like, "Oh, do you know that guy?" And I'm like, "I don't, but I know someone who does, and he's gonna probably be on our show eventually." Oh, what? And it's just like, yeah. It's crazy how you end up meeting some of these guys. Top shelf hashtag. Well, guys,
top shelf.
I think we're gonna.
Bryce knows it.
We're gonna call her next week. We've got the preview show for Absolute Pro Wrestling down in Fort Dodge, Iowa. We've got Badger Calhoun joining us next week to go over that card. And as we get ready, show season's here, guys. Get ready. Show season is here. It is upon us. The spring is almost here, and it's about to get crazy. Yeah, I bet it does. I don't know who the main is that night. Which one was that? That's Waterloo, so it ain't that one. But look at that.
That's a month away.
That's an upcoming show that we are the main event sponsor, Shanky. Don't forget to kick Maddie Starr in the dick for me once.
Yeah, I'm sure that won't come back to fucking haunt me, that fucking main event somehow or another. Fucking Maddie.
But yeah,
always ask me why I should care. Fucking
right. So we'll be doing that next week.
Oh, okay. The Boys in Briar versus the Cowboys from Hell and Sage. Oh man, that's gonna be a fucking hell of a main event right there.
Don't hit the wrong girl. They both look alike, guys.
Oh boy, this fucking dude. Someone will die in that match. Yeah, it's probably gonna be Shanky, dude. He almost fucking died from the last time they faced off against Cowboys from Hell. I'm just saying. That was a rough night of commentary, man, because I generally thought fucking Shank had died that time.
I don't want to hear about your accidents there, Bryce. I don't want to know anything about that. All right, boys. Yeah, so we'll be back with that next week. Week after that, we've got John Madden making his return to the 2 count.
Fuck yeah, dude.
For that, we'll have some more guests coming as well as we get through the spring and summer here. And again, lots of cool shows. So make sure if you hear us talk about a show and we're going to be there, come out and see us. Come out and see the wonderful, talented wrestlers that we'll be watching and working with. And tell your friends about the 2 count. Let them know that we're here. We're trying to build it. By the end of this summer, we want to be huge. Because we already are. We want to be bigger. So
we want to be bigger than just Iowa huge. We want to be India huge.
Shank needs to be the one. I agree. So yeah, we got that next week. Make sure you join us for that. We'll probably cover a little bit of the chamber reactions as well.
Absolutely.
And then, that's all we got. JR will make his return to the show next week.
If we allow it. I don't know. This went pretty well. So, I mean, maybe we should go back to 2 count and kick out the original, right? Oh, but here's a good thing, too. Next week, you'll get to see the return of the Tom game because Badger hasn't been on before. So, we got that. Actually, I guess we get to do 2 weeks in a row of the Tom game because we weren't doing it when John was here the first time.
I can kind of guess who he's picking already.
Yeah, I kind of know as well. But, like, you know, I told him, like, he gets booed at first show as much as Darren Corbin. So, like, I don't know why they aren't fucking friendly. He goes, oh, really? I go, I don't know, man. Like, and then apparently I pissed him off again at the watch party. So,
I don't know, man. Fun. John loves me. We're cool. I don't know what your deal is.
I don't know what it is either, man. But I'm just saying, don't think he likes me too much.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out in 2 weeks. Everybody have a good night. A great weekend. Happy Valentine's Day again. Thanks for spending it with us. We love you all. I love you. We'll see you guys on the 2 count next week. Bye.
Happy Greg the Hand.